is a Boardwalk Audio podcast.
Amazon Cloud Cam.
Dudes, you can check up on your home while you're, like, out of town for a while. I had a friend show me this over Christmas, actually.
There's, like, a camera that connects to Amazon via Alexa and Amazon Fire TV and all that stuff.
And you can use it to, I mean, if you're going out of town for a while, that's what my friend had. He was like, look, we can see what's happening in my apartment in LA right now.
I could talk to Shelby if I wanted to through Amazon Cloud Cam. I could be like, Shelby, over here. Shelby.
Or if you turn it on, see an intruder, you can be like, get the fuck out of my house, and they'll be like, they'll either think you're actually there, or they'll be like, there's a fucking ghost here, I'm not gonna rob this house.
Or you could play, like, you know, Slayer or something, or Guar, and freak them out, like really crazy loud music.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they could make it so it could also play Guar and throw slime like they do at the concerts.
That'd be good.
That would scare anybody off.
Scare anybody. So you just go to boardwalkaudio.com/cloudcam.
That's boardwalkaudio.com/cloudcam. You get 3 free 30 days.
Yeah, you get a free 30-day trial. So I think it's just a free camera, and you just pay monthly as a subscription. But this is just free for 30 days.
Yeah, with that deal. I just realized how hard it is to say free 30 days fast.
Free 30 days. Free 30 days.
Anyway, get your cloud cam so you can
guys
have a safe home so your dogs can be happy. It's good.
All right. Enjoy the show.
Bye.
I just drink wine.
Welcome to the wine situation. We're live. Not live at all.
Ellen was giving me the most bedroom eyes.
Oh, was I?
Yeah, you were. You were like
God.
Over the mic. You're like,
I thought I was doing some kind of like BBC News thing, but apparently,
Whoa,
apparently
that's BBC News.
Apparently, I'm sexiest when I'm trying to be really serious. Shit! Now I know my superpower. This is how I'm picking up guys from now on. I'm just gonna be like.
Or you think the BBC News is really sexy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really BBC News because I wasn't doing
News.
an accent. I was just trying to do like business-like.
Oh, like business casual?
I'm a sexy business
authoritative business?
I guess
Were
so.
you giving me real authoritative business right there?
Yeah, but if you took it as sultry eyes, take it to mean what you want, Shaughn.
She's a working lady.
Now he's getting
easy
sultry.
Spirit.
Now he's getting sultry eyes. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to fan myself off.
This is the wine situation, you
that's
guys.
Shaughn Buchholz. I'm Ellen Clifford.
Yeah, we talk about wine. People bring in wines. We pair wines to go with it.
Yeah.
Wines for wine.
Complaining wines soothed with. Then we just take a good bottle of something and pour it over and just like let it all wash away.
Yeah. Bottles for bitches,
like
grapes for gripes. I'm going to bring it in every episode.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to think of more bottles for bitches, grapes for gripes, vineyards for vampires.
Oh, you're a goth.
Yes.
Shit, I forgot to goth you last
Vineyards
time.
for vampires.
Vineyards for vampires.
Let's suck the lifeblood out of that grape.
Drink it. Drink
it down. Drink the red.
I drink that blood shake. I drink it up.
Suck my neck like it's a bottle of wine. Oh, never mind. I don't. You guys just stop me.
She's getting sultry
again. So anyway, I'm qualified to talk about this because I know a shit ton about wine,
yeah,
but not
does.
as much as most people.
She's passed a lot of tests, you guys. She's read a lot of books. She's flashcarded the fuck out of shit.
I did some blind tasting bullshit.
She did some blind tasting bullshit.
I'm still like really bad at that. And
no, but the W sets were both quartermasters, level 1.
Yeah, Shaughn
certified
helped open
sommeliers.
Bar Covell.
I opened Bar Covell.
He worked with our lovely wine sponsor, Greg Condes.
Yes, thank you, Greg Condes.
Yeah, he's the wine whisperer. He will look into your heart.
I do a little wine reiki, as I call it.
He'll reach into your bloodstream.
Yeah.
And just pull out, like a red silk scarf, he'll pull out Shaughn.
I just massage the aura.
Oh.
Gently.
Oh.
Gently. And the aura tells me
I see,
what you would like to drink.
And then you,
Yeah. I give you the antidote. Antidote?
Antidote to your pain.
Yes. You want to talk about a hip tip?
A hipster tip, sure.
Hip tip.
I'd been blanking on it when I was preparing for this because I've been trying to like take things down a notch after like too much holiday indulging. So I was like, did I drink anything interesting? But I haven't talked about my Thanksgiving wine. So I was
what'd you have?
Well, I brought a bottle of Margaux, like not Chateau Margaux because that would cost like $10,000, but at Margaux, like
I don't know how you roll.
not with it was a Magnum of Margaux that I'd been saving. It was like a 2004 or 2003 or 4. I'm blanking, but it was like an off year, so I got the Magnum for a good price.
Good price.
Yeah, brought that.
How was it?
It was really good. It was, but then my friend who came, my neighbor friend, who listens to me talk about wine more than he should. I don't know. He's trying to glean my knowledge from me, but I think I had mentioned to him.
Or just your wine.
We have like a system. He comes over to my place and I pour it out, and then we go out for wine and he buys. So it's like it works well.
Out, yeah.
But I think I had mentioned that I liked Stag's Leap Cellars before, and he brought Artemis is the name of their wine, and I was surprised. Normally I'm such a Francophile. I liked that better than I liked I was like, we're gonna have they're both Cabernet Sauvignon wines, and I was like, oh, I think I like yours better than mine.
That's a pretty awesome wine, though.
It had more to say.
Yeah,
it was
Stag Leap Artemis.
Stag Leap Artemis is fucking fantastic. He got it at the grocery store, by the way.
Whoa,
Yeah,
grocery store wine. Oh yeah, you guys, please send us your grocery store wines.
Yeah.
The ones you're buying at the grocery store.
And I was like happy that he remembered something I taught him, which is Stag's Leap is good.
Good job.
Good job.
Good job, neighbor wine friend.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul. Oh yeah, Paul. Okay,
Paul.
Just call him Paul.
Call him Paul.
Thanks,
That's his
Paul.
name. I don't know
Bless
how much
you, Paul.
he tunes in, but anyway, thanks, Paul, if you're listening. Shaughn, what did you tip?
I had the Pure Hoppiness by Alpine. It's a beer.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm talking. I'm
that's
pure.
new.
I'm hip sip tipping a beer.
Oh shit, hipster you.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Alpine is a brew. I mean, like whatever.
Like,
Does it even matter?
Yeah,
Like, does it even
yeah,
care?
just a brew.
It's just a brew,
Just a
bro.
brewski.
It's just a brew for some bros.
Oh,
bros
shit.
for brews, man. Hops for homies.
Oh fuck. We're gonna have to have beer
Man,
on the.
like, I don't even care, man. I'm going to Lake Havasu later. Who fucking cares?
I did. The one time I liked beer was when it was soju bomb at the Korean place. But we'd already been drinking soju all night, and they're like, "We're giving you this on the house so you can learn about soju bombs." And I was like, "Oh, this is the one way I like beer."
People love to give Ellen alcohol. It's the weirdest thing. Like they mail it to her. I don't know how she gets it.
true. I got.
It's true. That's all I'll
It's
say.
almost overwhelming how much wine there is in my fridge right now
It's kind of
because there's
overwhelming.
so much.
So you can send Ellen wine. You can send me wine too.
Yeah,
guys.
you can.
If
I
you
mean,
wanna
I'll
send me
share
wine.
it with you, Shaughn.
Oh, thanks, Ellen.
Yeah, we just have to hang out outside podcasting at Covell, and then I'd have an opportunity. We
Brennan
should
would be
have like a little.
What about me?
Well, we can. We should get together with Brendan and have like a little Hollywood.
Little
Hollywood.
Hollywood
Hollywood gathering
Hollywood holiday gathering.
with you and Brennan.
With me and Brennan. Yeah, it was a Pure Hoppiness from Alpine Brewing, just north of San Diego. It was delicious. It was very fresh. The hops were really bright and
The
delicious.
hops, that's the pine resin, right?
Yeah,
and
the pine-
it gives the bitterness.
It basically looks like cannabis, like weed, and it gives it that aromatic. And also is a preservative too. That's originally why they started doing it. But the hoppiness gives it that kind of bitter aromatic. And when it's done right and when it's fresh, you want beer to be fresh.
Yeah.
It has this really complex, beautiful aroma as you're sipping
Where
it.
did you have this?
We actually had a keg of it. We had tapped a keg of it at Covell.
Oh shit!
But like right when we tapped it, it was really delicious.
I would like to taste it sometime because I'm trying
you
to.
out
I'm
there and drink
trying
some
to
beer.
get more into that.
You're trying to get in there. Do we have any grocery store wines to share, or do we share them all last
No,
time?
I think we were gonna do a mailbag
we're
question.
doing a mailbag
I was very
question.
amused that Maurice asked.
What do you want, Maurice?
He sent he sent this article and was like, "So is it true that wine's good for erectile dysfunction?" I was
Whoa.
like, which I don't think I know this person. I don't think that's something he struggled. I think he was just like pushing our buttons. But so
Okay.
I looked at the article, and the article it was in the Thrillist, so super medical.
Yeah, it's like BuzzFeed.
And it was like,
Huffington Post
the
said.
thing was entitled, "Red wine is good for your boner." And basically, I read it, and basically it was like, red wine is rich in flavonoids. And basically what they said is food high in flavonoids, like blueberries, say, can lead to, let's see.
Increased blood flow to your...
And probably, yeah.
your dick.
Basically, it was like, it's as good as taking a walk for like, reduced risk of erectile dysfunction or,
Okay.
yeah. But then it was like, but in the study, it's also good when they ate healthy and walked. So basically what the article is saying is that, what I took it to mean is that red wine can be part of a healthy diet and being healthy is good for your boner. So
Okay, yeah. I think that's probably right.
I think that's probably right. So yes, Maurice,
Boners
drink.
are part of the body,
if
and I
you're
would
worried
imagine
about
if you
your
take
dick,
care of your body and
have a dick sip.
yeah, have a dick sip tip. Yeah.
So that's my
tip it.
answer. We're not scientists, but we would say good health is good for your boner, and red wine can be part of that, but not too much. Like a glass or so, or 2, 3.
3, 4.
But then, like, if you try and have sex like after 4, then it's probably not good for it.
After 4 a.m. or 4 p.m.?
Both.
Yeah.
If you've had 4 glasses of wine.
Because those are 2 different 4s. Let me just tell you. Because
Depends how early
afternoon
you
delight,
start.
or we got some late night.
I'm just talking about how much wine you've been drinking.
What? I'm sober.
Come on. Everyone's had sex where you're just like, we are both too drunk to make this actually work.
That's
Let's
true.
go to bed and try again in the morning.
Well, I'm going to intro this person.
Yeah, before I get
'cause
too
he's
much
been-
into my sex life, this is ridiculous.
Like, not that this is a great segue into Tip Yourself. Maybe it is.
Maybe it is.
You know him from Jeffery and Cold Casserole. He's been on 30 Rock. The movie You're Killing Me, which I'm in with him, that he wrote and produced. He's also a writer. He has a new book out called A Very, Very Bad Thing.
Ooh,
And
I
also
wanna learn
Drag
more about
Teen.
that.
It's Jeffrey Self.
Hey.
Hey.
I was getting very hot. Heated
It was
over
getting hot and
here.
heated. I'm like, Ellen, we got
Very-
Between my bedroom eyes,
Very- I know.
my BBC
You
eyes.
started with bedroom eyes and then ended with boners, and I wondered, what did I walk into?
Yeah, he's like just quietly. He's like, "What is this intro?
You
what
guys,
is going
I'm
on?"
so single and not even dating, so nothing's going on here. That's probably why it's all coming out in the podcast.
Coming out on the podcast.
Yes. You're just sort of
I have
needing
to get
a
my
place
jollies
to
somewhere.
vent it out.
Well, thank you for being here, Jeffrey.
Thanks for having me. I love being in a dark, windowless room, drinking wine.
Yeah.
that's and talking on a microphone. Truly, I mean that's
It's kind of the best.
when you write down your ideal locations. That's one of them for me.
You're like right at home. Happy comfort place.
I was interested in when you're saying about trying to get into beer. I've never been a beer drinker.
I don't like it.
And I'm a big
I
wine
try.
drinker. Yeah, what?
I drink so much, and I've never had a beer that I've been like I would willingly.
Same.
choose to-
I
I'm like
only-
I would rather drink water.
Yeah, I mean, I'll drink beer because like
I won't
if,
even
like, at a
try.
like a dive
taste it?
bar maybe.
Oh,
or like
see,
at
I
a
would
gay
just be-
bar. I will because I don't want to. They're not going to have
In a
good
dive
white
bar,
wine.
I'd just
by
be
any
like,
At a gay bar.
give me a skinny bitch. Like,
But I mean, I can't get into it.
don't like it.
So as a wine person though, who's like smart about all this stuff, how are you getting into beer? What's making you?
I
what
mean,
are
I
you
just
using?
I just always try and taste it when it's around. Like I'm always with people ordering beers. I always want to taste.
Sure.
And for our court master's test, we had to at least know the basics of how it's made. So I'm trying to learn like what's the difference between a lager and an ale. But
Okay, right.
but I've not been doing as much. I mean, I could go out there and like actually buy them and keep. But every time I taste one, I've had ones where I'm like, this is tolerable, or like I found a I like a sour, like a lambic, but that tastes nothing. If it tastes at all beery, which they pretty much all do, I don't like them, and I'm trying to because I feel like I should. Like my taste buds should be more evolved.
I know what you mean. I mean, that is the annoying thing about beer is that it tastes
and I'd be
like
so much
beer.
cooler if I could just like hang with a beer.
And it's cheaper.
Yeah,
It's really delicious. I really enjoy it.
It's not to
And
us
it doesn't
though.
get you as
I
drunk.
believe you. No,
And
I
you can
And you
drink
can
a
drink
lot
it-
of it
and drink
and not be
slower.
like. And that's what I'm really. At the bottom line, I'm coming at it from like.
I
want
want to drink a lot without
You're
getting totally
like, how
drunk.
do I drink
Yeah, how do I
less?
drink
Yeah.
less?
No.
How, drink
Well, you
as
drink
much
drink
and get drunk.
drink Riesling because it's low alcohol. I
is
mean,
that right?
I do
Yeah.
like
If you drink
starting
like nice Riesling,
like
yeah.
holiday dinners. I like to start with a Riesling just because if you're gonna be like drinking the whole night long, I'm like, okay, let's start with something that's 8% alcohol, like
That's
it's like a
great
beer.
piece of advice.
Yeah, go for
But
low alcohol
only
wine.
nice Rieslings, not cheap Rieslings.
Yeah,
Depend like German one's probably gonna be lower.
I would say like the Riesling you find at the Olive Garden is probably not going to be lower in
Sure,
alcohol.
but that's
Yeah.
also going to like
An
go
Alsatian
on
one.
pie or something. It's going to be like really sugary. Really sweet.
pour a nice
I
Riesling
mean,
over a pie.
not that we're saying anything negative about Olive Garden. I don't know.
No,
who
no,
you're
No,
sponsored
no.
I love
Well,
an SSB, soup, salad, and breast steak. I go all day.
Endless, no less.
An Alsatian Riesling would also be pretty high in alcohol, but like a nice German one.
What's the highest content alcohol-wise in white wine? Which one?
I mean, it can go up. I mean,
like stereotypically.
I mean, I would say like a Rhone blend from California, probably like a Marsanne Roussanne blend, a Viognier or something like that.
Be pretty high.
Pretty
Could be
high
up to like
alcohol.
15.
Yeah,
You're
good to like
just
15 or
saying
16.
words I've never heard of. I
Right.
knew the word California and Northern I'd heard of, but I don't. What is that?
Marsanne
There-
Roussanne, they're
it's
two
a-
grapes they frequently blend.
Okay.
They come from the Rhone Valley, or not. I don't know if they originated there, but that's where they make Marsanne Roussanne blends. I've seen a lot of Roussannes.
And also Paso Robles too. Like those
they
those,
have delicious ones.
I've been there.
I've been there.
Yeah.
So
So that's some and now I'm just curious of all these questions. Is white wine less alcohol by volume than most red wine, or is it doesn't? That's not how this works.
I think they're lower alcohol because they tend to get picked a little with more acid.
What,
or
red?
White. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Reds tend to be a little higher.
It's
I
kind of
feel
not
like.
how it works. Like you could get a high alcohol white, or you can get a high alcohol red. It really
And then
doesn't
what
matter.
the hell is orange wine?
It's made with white wine grapes,
Totally.
but they it's like a rosé but with white grapes. They only leave it on the skins a brief while. That usually turns it kind of orangey. But yeah, it's basically it's like a rosé but white grapes.
I had never. I mean, I'm very not very cultured, but I had just heard of this yesterday.
Yeah, I
So,
don't love them usually.
Yeah,
I'm like, there's a
yeah.
reason people usually when they make white wine, they press the grapes and they strain it off the skins right away because the skins are. I don't know. Sometimes I find an orange wine I like. I understand it's very trendy these days, but I'm like, there's a reason for centuries we've been making white wine, straining it right off the skins. Like,
They were selling it at this new wine shop near where I live in Culver City called Stanley's.
oh my
I don't know if
God,
you've-
Katie works there, right?
It's
I think so. Yeah.
I
friend Katie Casper.
highly recommend
Stanley's,
it.
yeah.
It's fabulous. They have a wonderful bar inside the
Oh,
store
yeah.
to try
we
everything.
should
gotta make a
go.
field
I know we do a
trip.
field trip.
Oh, you should do an episode from there. It's
Yeah,
it's
we should.
delicious.
Katie said we could.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
you
right.
should.
shit.
Yeah.
And it's stunning.
That's
too.
right, I
It's
forgot,
very
yeah.
reminding
pretty.
us.
Yeah.
I really
cool.
recommend it.
Well, let's do a cheers.
Cheers,
real quick,
cheers,
because
yeah.
I just poured
Also,
wine already
yeah.
before we got into your wine.
Wine
On wine, because I was
and
like,
then you're going to tell me what this is.
yeah.
But you have to tell us
Tell
what
us what
your
your wine is.
whole wine is.
I like the silence. Ooh, that's nice.
Good, right?
I like that. I
I
don't
do
know.
like that. I'm surprised because I know it is, but I like it.
What,
Yeah.
Say the things that you notice in it that I don't know how to put into words. Like, what are the notes in this that I'm drinking? Because I'm just like, this is good and I like it.
I'm definitely getting like the popcorny sort of thing.
Yeah,
even though
I'd
it's only
say butter,
partial.
a little bit of butter.
It says it's partial
just the right
mallow,
amount of butter.
but I feel like there's a little bit more than partial mallow to it. So there is that buttery sort of richness
Yeah.
to it,
Okay.
but there's also good acidity as well.
I get a lot of citrus, a little bit of tropical fruit, like some orange blossom.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, I am very impressed. And what is this called?
This is
This is the Devilet from
Trader Joe's.
yeah.
Charles.
no, this is
Shaughn.
from our sponsor, Greg Condes.
Thanks, sponsor Greg Condes.
Yeah.
This is the Rhine Devilet 2013 Solomon Hills
It's a
Vineyard
very pretty label.
Chardonnay
It's from the Santa Maria.
Yeah.
Which I can explain later why Santa Maria makes really nice white wines. But let's hear what your whole wine is, and then
Yeah.
we'll explain while we're
Yes.
drinking this.
Well, so
and then we can go back to our wine
yes,
shop.
then we can go back to drinking.
because I'm very fascinated by all this. Okay, so when you asked me what I've been whining about lately, I was whining about the fact that, obviously right now in pop culture, in the news, every time you refresh your feed of any sort, you're seeing news stories of, male privileged white Hollywood legends being taken down, whether they're Kevin Spacey or Al
Franken.
Bryan Singer, all of these people who are. He just got a new accusation like an hour ago before I
man.
went.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
he's not
the
been
usual-
fired off the
Someone-
movie.
the usual thing. But so I was thinking, and we are
That's
all
just a
talking about
matter
it.
of
It's so on all of our minds, and obviously, so much of this is coming from the fact that, this is a rampant culture that of abuse within people who are super privileged.
Oh, I'm so curious to hear what you hear.
But I just for me, people, I've talked to so many people who have had, and I'm sure we're in UCB right now, I'm sure there's so many people who would say the same thing, who are like, when Louis C.K. was brought down there.
There have been so many people in our local comedy scene. One of whom I knew who had a thing. There's been a lot of guys in the last year or two finally just shut down. Some of them left town. And I'm like, oh, thank God, because that person was terrible and they were making females' lives hell and being abusive, frankly.
Yeah, of course, yeah, and it's it obviously is. It comes, I think, because they look up to some some of these big male comedians who have subsequently been taken down recently. But and as I've been talking to people about it, and people talking about having their heroes taken away from them, for lack of a better, explanation.
Yeah.
It didn't register with me because I have always only been interested in Hollywood that revolves around women.
I love it. I love it.
It had never really occurred to me that like a man could be my hero.
Oh,
In
who are your
Hollywood.
heroes?
I mean, there's a lot, but like and so I feel like what I keep finding myself whining to people about is that like we need more. Obviously, I mean, I'm not the first person to say this. This is not a revelation by any means, but we obviously need more things for women in Hollywood, but especially women who are aged out of this system where
we need more Jane Fondas and Lily Tomlins.
Because that's why we have all these like creepy Woody Allens or Alec Baldwin, a lovely man, but who is screaming in a viral video and who has admitted that he has treated women without respect. We don't have enough.
It's
enough women.
scary
Adult
being
women.
in this
Yeah, we
industry
don't,
as a
yeah.
female because you're like, men get older and they get distinguished and handsome and better, and we get old and nobody wants
100%.
to hear anything. And it's just like,
Yeah, I mean, like
it's scary.
Yeah, I mean, Kathy Griffin recently, who obviously is going through it right now, and whether she's a very divisive figure, and whether you like her or not, that's not. I don't really care. But,
I enjoy her.
I enjoy her as well, and she has been making these videos throughout her tour, and some of them have been better than others. But one she made brought up seeing a photo of Stockard Channing, the actress, in a magazine with a photo next to her of who she was, like, and what she looked like in the 70s. And obviously, like, oh, she looks horrible now. And, she actually just looks her age and blah, blah, blah. But then, in Kathy's video, she brought up the point of, at the same time, Donald Sutherland, who is, if not the same age, but maybe older than her, who they starred together in 6 Degrees of Separation, a wonderful movie, has gone on and continues to have these movie franchises and never in a million years.
Because society likes men when they get older and they don't like. I don't know. I don't understand.
I don't either.
Yeah.
And
part of it's apparently a biological thing that men are more attracted to women who look like they could bear children. This is like the neurology biological explanation behind it, but because men can have kids like way too fucking old.
yeah, exactly.
But
There needs to be like a menopause.
There's got to be some, there's some sort of point to that.
Some sort of biology to it, perhaps, but it's just like men somehow managed to get away with a lot. So I love that you want to whine about this because I'm like, I'm a woman. I feel it all.
Yeah.
Daily. Welcome to Hell is that SNL video.
That was great.
That was so good. I'm like, yep, accurate. It really wasn't even funny. Like, if some stuff is funny because it's true, and I was just like, but it's necessary.
I mean, even SNL, you look at, now they're obviously, they're constantly and always have been making wonderful comedy and stuff. But like, you look at who are the like 6, superstars, icon heroes from SNL, and that people name and that they put out, the best of specials about on NBC. Like
Chevy Chase.
It's never, it's never any of the female stars from that show, and it's
except
so
for Gilda,
absurd.
maybe, but a little bit. But
with that, maybe.
But she died young, so no one ever saw her get old.
Exactly. So it's just so gross and. Don't you just want to have like a year? I feel like there should just be a year in Hollywood where men aren't allowed to work.
I'd love that.
Well, I mean, I think we're about to see it, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I really do. I think
curious,
this pilot season should be pretty interesting in terms of
yes, me too.
Hollywood talk, yeah.
What did you guys think of the time their person of the year was like the whistleblowers?
The silence
which
breakers.
kind of, I was like, this is good. Part of me was like, oh, it's too bad that they just have to clump all these people in one group rather than they all get there. But, these days everyone wants to be critical of everything. I'm just happy that they didn't choose Donald Trump, frankly.
Sure. I mean, it was an interesting move. I found it surprising.
I support it.
I support it too. I appreciate that it wasn't.
And they included a couple guys who were on there too.
They included some,
and it was apparently totally produced by, written, put together, filmed by women.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's great.
That's what I hear. I haven't fact-checked it, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously this is the only thing I can possibly think about right now and talk about, and every time you sit down with people that that's all anybody wants to talk about.
Right.
But like what's going on with all of this stuff, with all the shit hitting the fan. And I think to a degree, obviously, we're all sort of like, if we can't take down the biggest monster, let's take down all the other monsters on our way.
It's a lot of that
to him. But I think if that's the reasoning behind it, then like, okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm down with the adventure that's begun.
And I think it's going to be an interesting time in Hollywood coming up here. And I think I was talking to someone else who's a writer. He was saying that he was at a table with a bunch of executive people, and they were saying that they're just not really making anything right now. They're waiting to see what else kind of comes out, because they don't want to start production on something and realize halfway through that so-and-so is going to have it come out and be like, oh, they were.
Or they could just like write movies where they know that they can hire Diane Keaton and she's not going to have raped anybody.
Or it's also just like more like more women need to be like the showrunner, or more women need to be the writer.
Exactly.
I was listening to the Vanity Fair. What's her name?
Tina Brown.
On Marketplace today. About how she was like, I was the boss when I was 30, so I never really went through this. She never really experienced it because she was always the boss.
Yeah. Actually, I've been reading her diaries. Just came out, the Vanity Fair diaries. She's so great, and it is true. You read at a time where it was even more misogynistic in the late 70s, and she's this British young. She's like only like 28 when she comes in to start meeting about taking over and revitalizing that magazine. Yeah, and it's even more fascinating than today, really.
That she was able to do it at that time.
Yeah. Exactly. What have you guys been whining about this week?
Well, I was just about to explain why we picked what we did to go.
Oh yeah, what is that?
Well,
Hence Chardonnay.
There's sort of a negative, but somewhat perhaps true. But people look at it negatively, as there's a old ladies in Chardonnay sort of.
Oh yeah, sure.
Like Stitch and Bitch.
It's such a like a easy punchline for like, oh, she had a glass of Chardonnay.
And
Housewives.
so we just wanted to bring like a really stand-up, like excellent Chardonnay to prove that there's wonderful Chardonnay out there to drink, and it doesn't mean that you're a basic bitch.
And also,
and there's a balanced, sophisticated version of it.
Yeah, and also there's nothing wrong with being an old lady who likes to
No,
to drink.
what you like.
Do that.
This wine is delicious.
I mean, my mom is a very cliched Chardonnay drinker. Mind you, hers is probably not as refined as this. I think it's more of the.
But if you want to drink a sweet, buttery Chardonnay,
yes.
do it if it makes you happy.
Exactly.
I mean, like, it's crazy that up until, like, truly, I think, like, 5 or 6 years ago, there was even still a stigma around rosé. Like,
the
fact that we're just now seeing, like, heteronormative men drinking rosé is
brosé.
Crazy. That it took, like, coming up with a term like brosé to do that.
Did.
Which really brings it, it's the same thing of, like, this culture that is
Adam
so afraid of
Carolla's
feminine
making mangria.
I don't know.
I'm like, oh no. I'm like trying to, like, I started following them on the Insta. I'm like, I want them to send us some free mangria so we can taste it.
I don't really love mangria. I don't like sangria.
I don't either. I've had like maybe one sangria in my life I've liked.
I hate the idea of mangria immediately.
Yeah, so do I.
But at the same time, they also did that, what was the skinny white girl rosé?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
White
worse.
girl rosé, which was, that guy's awful.
Who is that? It's a guy made
It's
it?
like the fat Jewish, what's the handle?
Oh, the Twitter guy?
Yeah, that's his that's his wine.
Wait, what?
That's his rosé. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Bethany related to Bethany Frankel, Skinny Girl.
Skinny Girl.
Oh, Skinny Girl. Yeah,
that's
no,
different.
he had white girl rosé.
Skinny
Girl
Girl
is
is another
different,
thing. They make these terrible. We had it on the Brian Safi podcast.
Yeah, Brian Safi's podcast.
Because he wanted to complain about people who didn't like
Real Housewives.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst. They are the worst.
The people that don't like him.
Well,
he had a defense for it.
I have a good defense.
But we brought in her cocktail mixes are terrible. They're saccharine, and it's just like bullshit.
Yeah, I haven't tried those, but they've done really well. She sold it for like.
Oh yeah, she did really well.
I doubt very much she drinks them, but
she's like, no.
Where's my Dom Perignon?
But I must say though, people that are drinking rosé when it's like freezing cold out, like I'm always like a little bit hesitant when someone comes into the bar like I want a rosé, and
I love cold drinks in cold weather.
I don't mind it either.
I drink rosé.
I mean, I love rosé any time of the day.
And there's so many full-bodied ones, like a Tavol rosé is one of my favorite things. They're so full and
I think that you're allowed to drink rosé year round. I don't. Think
I agree with you. I'm not saying
you're
that.
allowed to drink
I'm
white
just
wine.
saying.
But you're like, you glance.
Do you judge people who drink red wine during the day? I mean, not like, I mean, every day, yeah, I would.
It
But
depends.
doesn't
It
open
depends
till
on what, if you're just sipping it.
like when you're in a restaurant and you see someone with like a glass of red wine at like brunch.
if
No, I never go to
it's
brunch.
summer, yes.
Right?
If it's fucking hot, I'm like, what are you,
What are you
What
doing?
wine? Some people
Yeah.
have this idea that the only good wine is red wine, or they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I outgrew white wine. I'm like, there's excellent. Like, I feel like there's like a cycle of wine liking, and people start out liking like the fruity Chardonnays and the oaky things, and then they move into, oh, light reds are good too, and then they move into like, I want a full-bodied, heavy, like suck me dry, tannic thing,
Suck me dry.
and then they're like,
Just
oh,
hit me over the
and
head
then
with some grapes.
the next phase is rosé is okay. The next phase is sparkling, but then at the end there's, if I had to choose a color, I'd probably choose white or rosé. Like,
Yeah.
that's like
That's
the
kind of
end
where I've landed.
I mean, if someone were like, you can only choose one thing, it's such
I guess
a hard
I'd have
choice
to choose
make.
white. I don't know.
I think I go back and forth between white and rosé.
Yeah, I drink so much rosé
Yeah,
anytime.
It's the time. I mean, this is the
yeah,
time
this
of.
is-
There's really good
this is
ones
the
being made.
Peak rosé era.
is.
Oh,
Guys,
we're alive.
And
We're
like-
living in a rose world.
Yeah.
We're looking at the world
Rose
through
world, through
rosé
rose-colored
tinted
glasses.
glasses.
Rosé.
And also back to your natural wine, orange wine thing. Like that's like the key thing that people are saying now.
What?
just-
Like
That's
it's
the,
like that's what people want. Like, what do you have orange? And I'm
that's the trendy new thing.
I've
Yeah.
had like
I had
two
never heard of
orange wines I've
they're
liked.
they're fine. It's
But
just
there's
like
a reason for hundreds of years people haven't made white wine that way.
no, they have like there's traditions in orange winemaking for sure. They go way back, but like there's different ways to arrive at an orange wine. There's like
Right.
a skin contact way. There's like an amphora way. There's like an oak way.
I like the amphora way.
The amphora way is good, but
What is the amphora way?
amphora
In
is-
Georgia, they put
It's
wine
like a
in
clay
these
pot.
clay pots, and they bury them.
yeah,
What?
yeah.
In Georgia, Georgian wines, they're interesting.
They
Or
bury it.
Slovenia too. Kabai is a good label that
What
does
does
like
that get?
amphora. aging.
What does burying it get you?
It's just the way they've been doing.
It's where
I think
they age it.
Like,
It gets like a
It keeps it
mustier.
cool?
Keeps
yeah,
it cool.
keeps it cool.
Yeah, keeps it cool and
Keeps
gets
it
it
cool and
funky.
friendly.
But like that's like so like all those are sort of interesting ways to get orange wine.
Yeah.
But what's happening now is they're just leaving like the
Leaving
skin
it on the skins
yeah.
for a long time, and then they've convinced people, because people are starting to get more into these natural, really funky wines. They're convinced like, oh, this is a good thing. It's like, no, that just doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
That tastes funky bad.
Funky bad.
It's just like yeah, it's a lot. It's just a lot, and like there's no nuance. I guess it just feels very like
Yeah.
oxidized and big.
Have a glass of gasoline.
Delicious,
Burn my innards.
delicious.
No, I've had some orange wines that are lovely, or like that. Sometimes ones that aren't technically orange wines, but they are, like the Vermentino we had from Sardinia. What producer?
Every word you guys say sounds so fancy. I feel just rich, money. You're just sitting on.
A lot of the wines like that are like actually pretty affordable.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Like
What's
this
the-
wine we're
Did you-
drinking is probably more expensive than a lot of
California
the
wine's
wines.
fucking way too expensive.
Can I ask you what is the most expensive glass of wine you've ever had or bottle?
I think we've answered this before.
Yeah, but we'll answer
Very
again for
interesting,
you.
because I don't have an answer because I don't. I mean,
You've had.
I've
Jeffery.
definitely had fancy wine,
Yeah.
but I don't remember what they like were.
Whatever.
Yeah, or where I was, or how I got home, or where my pants went. Any of that.
Well, let's make this a two-parter. Let's make this a what's the most expensive thing you've sipped upon, and what's the most
Okay.
expensive thing you've bought?
Ooh,
Because they're
I like
two
that. Yeah.
very different things.
That's not a vacation, right?
Sure.
Yeah, just like what's the
Because
most expensive
vacation's
thing
always
ever I've ever bought with my money?
No, I mean, if you spent a lot on, I'd hear.
If it was like a crazy one, okay,
Yeah.
let me think.
Okay.
I have a very expensive cardigan.
Okay.
Like that's like
Where's it from?
It's Comme de Garçon.
Oh.
It's cashmere and it's grotesquely expensive.
Yes.
I'm not going to say how much. But
You
it's-
spent money on it?
I spent money on
Okay.
it. And but I've had it now for 5 years, so I feel like I pay, and I wear it all the time, so I feel like
There you
it's
go.
Oh
been
yeah,
paid
no,
off.
I'll pay more.
But I mean, like when it comes to like fixing the weird noise that's coming from underneath my car, I'm like, forget it. Okay, but then sipped upon. Oh, you're gonna have to come back to me.
Okay. Well, I can answer the
Sipped upon.
Yeah,
Or-
the most expensive thing I've sipped upon was probably retails for somewhere between $400 and $500. It was
Whoa!
It was an Armand de Brignon sparkling rosé champagne, and it was because my friend works for this wine contest and he gets a lot of free
Was it
wine.
fantastic?
It was fantastic. I was like I feel like over $100, $200 wine ceases to actually. Then it's more about the story and the location.
Exactly. It's more about the
It was lovely. I would, if I had the money, sure, I'd fucking buy that. Also, the bottle is baller. It's the Ace of Spades. It's like this shiny pink. It's an amazing bottle. Like I would buy Armand de Brignon any day if I had that much money. But
Is it worth it though?
if I had that much money to blow,
But that would be a
sure.
lot of money. Even if I had Oprah money, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
just
Well,
also feels like a little.
He let me open it for my birthday. You know,
Oh, you
special
got
occasion.
to open it too.
Did you
That's
wait? Did you
fun.
buy it?
No,
Oh,
he,
this is
her
sipped upon.
birthday.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
No, this is the
I
one.
didn't know that.
My
yeah,
friend
this is
Joel
your
brought
sip.
back from
That's right, yeah.
being the judge at the San Francisco wine
That's pretty
competition.
cool.
Yeah.
He gets to bring back a lot of free wine, and we were co-hosting a party on my birthday, and he was like, "You can pick out a bubbly to open for." And I was looking at them all. I'm like, "That's a cool bottle," because it was like shiny and pink and had a big Ace
Yeah.
of Spades. And I was like, "Can I open this?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." And then I looked at him like, "This is." It says it's because he always has like the prices and all that stuff on
Sure.
the back. I was like, "Oh, this is like a $400 to $500 bottle of wine." And he's like, "I get all this free," and there's like this whole cellar full of free shit.
Our avid listeners will remember this story from a previous podcast.
I think from one of our first ones
Yeah.
when no one was
We
listening.
talked.
So
Yeah,
it's
I know. I
probably
was gonna say, I'm
What's
like,
yours, Shaughn? Do you have a
Yeah.
fancy one?
the most fancy wine I've ever had is probably the Henri Jair Richebourg from 1980.
I would die to
It's
try
a
that.
Burgundy
Literally from the
from 1980. Yeah, it's a birth year wine for me. Yeah.
I've never had a birth year wine.
It was fantastic,
I didn't
and
know
it's
that was a
actually
thing.
like you can't even buy them here. They don't sell.
Where
in
were
the-
you?
Some person brought it back
like
illegally from France. A fancy wine
Fancy
guy.
person.
So you're admitting to crime right
No,
now.
no. I just was participating and
was just
said
sipping.
and said
He didn't
crime.
inhale.
Yeah,
In criminal activity?
yeah, and criminal activity. But
What's
yeah,
the
so
most
it's really
expensive thing you've bought?
wine or
Yeah.
in general.
No, wine.
I'm like,
This is such
the
a gross
house.
conversation, and I love it.
It's just, we're drinking Chardonnay and talking
Yeah.
about what we bought. God.
I'm like, I think the most expensive bottle of wine I ever bought was a Venge Cabernet from the Napa Valley because
Yeah.
I had tried one of their things and then I just was wanting to. I mean, this was super recently. I just like had a little birthday money and I was like wanting to support Napa and I was like, this winery is so fucking good. Like, and I just was like, I'll
Do
buy
it.
it. It was about $100.
No, I mean, I spent more on that birth year wine.
Oh, you bought it?
Yeah, I bought it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
I bought a birth year wine.
I really
for
want a
a
birth year wine. Like,
for
I.
a friend for her 50th birthday. I bought her a birth
that
year
one.
wine.
Not
from,
the Richebourg.
No, not the
Whoa,
Richebourg. Yeah.
for her 50th birthday, you bought her a wine from the year she was born?
Yes.
Oh, good grief. This
Yeah.
is a nice friend.
That was
Yeah.
not the 1980.
No, it was
No,
older
this
than
was-
that.
yeah.
Well, she's
No,
50.
that was your old
Yeah.
Zen.
It was the old Zen from Monterey. Yeah, it was more expensive.
That's fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She listens to this podcast. I don't know if I want to say how much I spent, but it was
Don't.
a lot. Yeah.
Fancy.
It's the most expensive
But
bottle.
Geraldine, I wish I were at your birthday dinner because no, you can take that out. Well, no, you didn't say the year or the price,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
and she should know she's worth it.
She is worth it.
I'd be flattered actually if someone were
Yeah.
like
I mean,
the
that's-
most
that is-
expensive
that's a
bottle of wine I bought was
great
for you. I'd be like,
gift.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
And it was
worth
and it's a great bottle, but she has still. So I was like,
Aw.
it kind of like there's something to
Yeah.
keep with it,
Have you ever had a birth year wine?
No, well, not that I know. I don't think so. I would have been told.
Yeah, you have been told.
Yeah.
1987, I think you would be told.
Let's do that this year, though.
That's a
Text me. I will get you birth year wine. I can get you
What?
birth year wine. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
If you can
Yeah.
hook me up with the birth year wine, I'll
Yeah.
pay you back.
Let me know. You gotta pay for it though.
I
It ain't
bought-
gonna be free, kids. You gotta give me the shells, the clams.
My
Fork over the
ideal
dough.
goal is to find. I heard my birth year was like one of the like vintage years in port. I'm like, ooh, if I could find a birth year port, something.
I like a port. Do
yeah.
you like a
That'd be
port?
nice.
I like a
I do
port.
like
I love a
port.
Madeira though better because Madeira is a little more like
What's that?
coffee.
Do I know what that is?
Madeira is a tiny island It's like port,
Well,
yeah.
Different
Okay.
grapes. It's a wine where
Different.
they stop the fermentation early, but the thing that makes Madeira unusual is they put it in hot circumstances. There's two different ways they make it, but like originally it was made sort of accidentally because it was left too long in these
the
barrels
cellar.
in hot sun, and it would get like really caramelized and like
It's
an
like
accident.
caramelly toffee. It's really good.
And then they started figuring out how to do it faster and without it having to sail across the sea in boats and heat. Like,
Yeah. Oh, that's very fancy.
Yeah, it's very
So
fancy.
you learned all this when you were training to be wine people? Is that sort of how you know all this stuff?
yeah.
It was sort of put in a succinct sort of class in that class. But
Yeah.
I've learned about this from Covell really.
How, when you take this class, how long is it? Just like,
Well-
is it like a college course?
I mean,
kind of thing?
the classes I took were each like 8-week classes with tests at the end.
The W sets, yeah.
Yeah, the class we took, you basically had to study on your own, and then you went in and they kind of went over the material, and then you took the tests. Yeah.
Yeah. This one, like, the quartermasters is a little bit more of a 2-day thing and then a test.
And then are you certified sommeliers?
No, that's the next level.
I mean, like,
That's,
what
oh,
is
there's
it?
levels.
But
It's
that's
like
the thing. Like, it's kind of like saying, like, are you a professional comedian because you went to UCB?
Right.
Are you a professional comedian because you went to Groundlings?
Like, I haven't.
No, you
I
could,
haven't-
like you could have been a full Groundlings member and main company, and
Right.
on a mod team here and not be
Yeah.
professional comedian. quote unquote.
right.
I excuse the fact that I'm not a sommelier because I've never worked in a restaurant with wine. I've been a food writer on and off for years, and I have this. I'm a wine scholar for what it's worth. I'm like I pass wine tests.
Right, you know about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's similar in that way. Like sommelier just means someone who works in wine, who knows
So it's,
wine.
but there are levels to the like training.
Just like there's levels at Groundlings.
Of course,
or
yeah,
level,
yeah.
and it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay, that makes sense.
But they're the most famous because they had the movie Somm come out. Basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the W sets are.
The movie Somm is based on the Quartermasters program. The W set is a different accreditation program.
Yeah.
oh, it's two different things.
Well,
different
there's two
things.
different tracks. Like the Court Masters is more towards people who want to work in wine service in a restaurant, and then the W sets are more towards people who they want to be an importer, or they want to sell wine, or they want to write about it, or
Yeah.
And would you want to own your own vineyard one day?
no.
No.
I would.
You
I
would.
would love to make white Burgundy style Chardonnay in California. I
Really?
would love to try and do that. Yeah.
What?
I don't think it's
I
possible,
would
but I'd
like
love to try.
if I could have a scientist be on my.
Oh
or,
yeah,
like-
I would have to hire
Okay.
people. I don't want. Yeah,
in
I'm not
that
gonna
case,
do it myself.
I'd be
yeah.
totally on. No, I thought you were.
I mean, like this is
meaning
like
being
this
out-
is like a super rich
Oh, yeah.
retired fantasy.
Okay,
Of
if I'm
course,
super
well, sure.
rich, I would totally hire the right people to make my wine.
Yeah, it's
because
super.
I want to have the Bauhaus.
Rupert Murdoch's
right, the
vineyard
Bauhaus.
just burned down in
His
Bel in
vineyard
the
did?
Bel Air fire.
I heard it
Oh,
was his
shit.
house, not the vineyard. Was it the vineyard too?
I heard the vineyard as well.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's what I just read that. So maybe by the time this comes out, that'll be proven fake news.
No.
Ever heard of it?
Too soon.
But
Too soon.
but that's what I believe
knows?
is the case.
I love that we're polishing off this.
The Devilet. Well, you know,
yeah.
that's how we go. But,
I
you know,
expected to like this wine the least because I'm not a big California.
Ryan
Chardonnay
Devilet
person.
is an amazing winemaker and producer. I
Where
must say.
is he based?
Like Santa Maria, like Santa Barbara area.
Okay.
So the thing that I think makes this. Oh, I was gonna.
No,
spill
go
out
ahead. And then I think it might
Oh,
be.
lightning round and out. The thing about Santa Maria, like so many good wines come out of there. It's a sub-region of the Santa Ynez Valley, which is a sub-region of Santa Barbara.
Sometimes the way you pronounce things, I love it.
Wait, what am I supposed to say?
Nothing. I love it. I'm just saying.
Santa
Say,
Ynez?
say it again.
People just say Santa Ynez.
Inez.
But like,
Oh, I know what it
I
looks like
love
on a
it.
map.
I'm not from California. I've only read
where are
these
you
things.
from?
St.
From
Louis.
St.Ouis.
Oh,
No,
I'm
I-
from Georgia.
Oh.
Too far apart.
But you know how to say Santa Ynez?
No, I wouldn't even try.
No, I don't.
I would, Santa
Yeah,
Yan-
don't.
Santa Yanes?
Santa Yenes? I like to put Yenes on my sandwich.
On Santa.
On Santa.
Holiday season.
So the cool thing is that the valleys, like a lot of California has mountains and valleys, and a lot of the mountains kind of block the cool ocean air that helps keep grapes acidic and
The rain
crisp.
shadow effect.
But the rain shadow effect.
The
but
rain
this
shadow
one
effect.
doesn't have rain shadows because there's the valleys run perpendicular to
Mm-hmm.
the shore, so the cool air can come far inland
Far
and
in.
like cool down.
It's called the Templeton Gap.
Really?
The Templeton Gap is where the ocean air comes up into Santa Ynez and Paso.
Is that right?
Yeah. So Santa Maria, it's those east-west valleys that make it good.
East-West Valley girls.
East-West Valley girls.
Hey, drinking
hi.
Chardonnay.
Now we have a lightning round.
Boom, boom, boom.
Doom is coming.
Lightning round, lightning round, lightning round, lightning round.
That is a noise you're making.
I try to make up a
That
new
is
song
quite a
every
noise.
lightning round. That was just basically like a car alarm.
You never know what you're
That was
going to
like a
get.
car
Oh,
alarm
100%.
in a club.
Emergency, tell us things about
Ooh,
Chardonnay.
no.
Emergency, tell us things about Chardonnay.
Emergency, tell me things about
It could
Chardonnay.
happen. It could totally
My
happen.
iPhone is yelling at me.
Oh, God. Do you want to ask the first one?
Oh, that's the first one.
Okay.
Where is the town of Chardonnay located?
Oh, goodness.
You can at least guess the country.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. France.
Yes, honey.
Bing,
Okay.
bing, bing.
Okay.
Can you,
You
go
wanna get
closer?
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 Closer,
Zoom
closer,
in.
Oh,
closer.
I've got to
zoom
get
in.
closer
If you
to
want
there.
to. Yeah.
What region at
um,
large is Chardonnay? Think about where Chardonnay in France comes
Do you know Burgundy, like white Burgundy, like famous white Burgundy?
from. So basically, Burgundy is the
Is it?
Just kidding. I don't know where that is.
Is it in the French Riviera?
no.
North. A little further north, yeah. Not super north, but a little more north.
It's a subregion of Burgundy. Burgund.
I don't know. I have no idea.
It's the Mâconnais.
Nakone.
Oh, I mean, I was going to say Normandy and then remembered that Normandy wasn't part of
Yeah.
France, is it?
No,
Yeah,
it is.
it
Yeah,
is.
it's,
Oh, it
it's
is?
way north.
That's where they make.
Oh, I should have said
That's
that.
where they make Calvados.
Oh wow, yeah, right. You're right. They do make Calvados up there.
Oh, so good.
You had it?
Calvados?
Yeah.
I love Calvados.
The thing about me is I don't know anything about wine and I didn't go to high school, so I know nothing about geography.
You didn't go to high school.
I didn't
I
learn
didn't.
anything about
Wait,
geography.
what do you mean you didn't
until-
go to high school?
I didn't. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. How have I known you this long? And
I homeschooled myself in high school,
Oh.
but I don't really. I mean, not really.
you just were like, I'm over it. I
I
don't
didn't
want to.
do it. No,
Oh.
I just didn't want to like leave the house.
Well, for me- I didn't start to
I don't know
learn
anything.
about history or wine that I
Oh my god, I
retained.
love that.
Despite going to college and everything,
written
it wasn't until wine that I actually retained any information about history or geography because I was terrible. at
Wine
it
helps you do it. I
Yeah.
could see that.
Yeah, wine does help you
yeah.
on that shit. Wait,
History-
you've published 3 books and you
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yes. I mean, two of them
In
are
Georgia?
like for fucking teenagers, and they like have them in school libraries. But I didn't go to those school
Did you
libraries.
get
Oh, I
Did you
love
ever
that.
get the
the
what is it?
GED? No, I didn't.
I love this.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I have.
I mean,
I
you're a very
technically-
accomplished
I
individual. You're
I
one of the
know.
hardest, like, working people
I
I know.
know.
technically have a high school diploma, but I never got it. I mean, I never got. They were supposed to mail it to me from this. I went to school. I went to this like homeschool program through. It was through the internet. It was based out of Ojai, even though when I was in
yeah.
Georgia. So I had gone to Ojai for the first time recently.
That's where Brennan went to school in Ohio.
Oh shit!
Oh, really?
Oh. You
Small
guys can
world.
talk about that.
We will.
Yeah.
I mean, I just went there recently,
yeah.
but I technically went to high school there.
Question number 2.
Question number 2.
So this is. I'm just setting myself up to fail. Is essentially what I'm telling you.
No,
Guys.
you might know this. Like, what are the reasons that people sometimes use new oak and sometimes use old oak,
Old.
or a mix thereof?
Maybe the difference in oak.
New versus old.
new
what it does
or
to
used.
the wine.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
They
Oh.
call it used. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, used. Used
You
oak.
imagine if we did that with people. You're 14 years old. 14
Have you been used?
Yeah. No, you're, yeah.
So creepy.
I'm a woman. I've been used a lot now.
Yeah.
I'm a used man. I'm 30.
Oh, used oak, new oak. Maybe the used oak adds more, like a more mineral to the wine.
Was that the new or the used? What?
There's
The used would
one,
have more mineral because it would have been in the elements.
A bit more.
No.
I mean,
I'm ready to give it to him.
yeah, just
is
give him
it?
the answer.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
What is
I
it
mean,
really though?
No, basically, like once the oak has been used a lot, people use the oak. It gives oak tannins, more structure to the wine. It gives flavors that tend to be, if it's American oak, it tends to be flavors of sort of dill and what's the other
Okay,
one?
what the hell does tannin mean?
Tannin's a mouthfeel. So, like, if you leave a tea
It's
bag
not
in
in white
tea,
wine ever.
yeah, it's an orange
People-
wine.
I hear people use the word tannin.
It
talking
comes
about
from
wine.
the skin of the grape. It's the thing that like you drink a wine, and you suddenly feel like your tongue and your gums got sucked
Yeah.
dry.
Oh yeah, or when you're eating a grape and it does that.
Yeah.
Or like, have you ever like left a tea bag in
Yeah,
tea
there
for
are
too long and
tannins
took a
in
sip?
tea.
There's a lot of tannins in tea.
Dark chocolate has tannins.
Like those are tannins.
I
yeah.
don't love tannins.
Yeah, tannins come from the fruit, or they come from oak too. Oak can derive.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so they
So
might
that's-
use it for
So
that.
yeah, so new oak will give you more tannins,
More
and used
tannins,
oak will give you
also,
less.
yeah, also more like spice flavors. Like spice.
In which case I say okay.
Okay.
Honey.
I love it. Okay.
That was so great.
This wine,
That was-
I'm like, what
That's
was
the
the
way to
oak on
shut
this
down
wine?
that. Okay.
This wine was made some in stainless steel and some in oak only. What? How
Wait,
much?
what?
Oh, she's talking about the wine we're drinking, but
Oh, was there any oak involved in that?
Yes.
Used or new?
100%. No,
Yeah.
20% new. I think. it
20%
said.
new. Yeah.
Yeah, French,
All French.
100% French oak,
15
not
months.
American. 20% new.
Yeah. So
Okay.
So a lot of times they'll do like
Keep the
20 to
balance.
10% new, and then they'll mix it with
Switch it
the
up. If
used.
if someone makes a wine with like 100% new, I'm like, I'm probably not gonna like
yeah,
this.
it's going to be
Used
most people.
oak.
Most people don't though. Most
Yeah,
people don't
no,
use 100%
I like
new
a
oak.
neutral barrel. Yeah, the ones that've been
It's also
used, the
expensive as
flavor's been
fuck.
sucked out, and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Wait, who's
If
which,
you used a used oak barrel that's made like several batches of wine, like
Oh, it's
the
got-
flavors are
the tannins have been taken away, kind of?
the flavors, the tannins.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the tannins have been taken away. The
What
flavor,
it does
like
allow is oxygen and at just the right level to make the wine sort of develop.
I plan on leaving here as like a full wine.
You've
You are.
got it all. You have the knowledge.
You've now passed the
powers
accreditation
within
program
you.
of the wine
We,
situation.
we give you a
We
wine.
give you a pin.
We should start giving our
We
guest
should.
pens.
We
like,
should give them pins, like wine, like
you
little.
put
like,
up with us talking about
Yeah,
wine.
Yeah.
like you're now officially a sommelier.
Yeah, I go into a restaurant and suggest wine to people.
They'll make a movie about us.
Do you
Shaughn.
like
Yeah.
white wine?
Yeah. Uh huh.
No? Okay. Well, I'm going to bring someone else over.
I didn't go to high school. I was homeschooled.
You don't need to appreciate wine.
Here's another one. What are the parent grapes of Chardonnay? So like these two grapes meshed and form Chardonnay?
So, like, a Burgundy is a type of grape, right?
Burgundy's a place.
A place.
Burgundy's a place in France.
Give me an
Well,
example.
there's one
Chardonnay is
other-
grown in Burgundy.
Also Pinot Noir.
But what is a type of grape?
The type of grape is Pinot Noir, Chardonnay.
Oh.
Those are the.
So what's the
yes.
variety in
so,
a Chardonnay?
So what two grapes are older than Chardonnay? That made Chardonnay,
Well-
like the parent grapes.
yeah.
Okay.
One of them also grows in Burgundy.
One of them also goes in
And are
Burgundy.
they
And
both,
it's red.
Are they? Oh, fuck. Okay.
I wouldn't know
Yeah.
this if I hadn't been
Yeah, I wouldn't know
reading
this.
the
I would
wine
not know this
Bible
either.
for
Yeah.
But there's
fun.
one
and
that's
I,
a white grape and one that's a
Yes.
red grape.
Yes.
Okay.
I had never until
Well, I may have heard of the
recently.
white wine grape.
Probably not. That's the one I'd never heard.
That's the
of.
one. Yeah, well,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, and
We just mentioned the red one
okay. The red maybe
that grows nearby.
Burgundy.
in Burgundy. It grows in Burgundy, and
Is
it's
it called the Burgundy? Is it called the?
what's the red grape they grow in Burgundy?
Sideways made it pretty famous. Two words.
Cabernet, Sauvignon, Dolores Claiborne.
Yes,
Yes.
Dolores Claiborne.
That
Yeah, Claire's.
Pinot Noir.
Pinot
Pinot
Noir.
Noir.
Yes.
Pinot
And then-
Noir
and
got
then-
it on with Gouet Blanc.
I mean,
Uni Blanc.
Gouet.
Gouet
Spelled
Blanc.
G-O-U-A-I-S.
Oh, I thought it was Uni Blanc.
No, it's
Okay. I don't know.
Uni Blanc. They make cognac from.
No, is Uni Blanc anything
Just
like
kidding, Gouet
umami
Blanc.
burger?
Gouet Blanc.
Yeah, umami burger.
Is that like umami
Yeah.
burger?
yeah.
I don't know, but they use
we
it
didn't
to-
see we had different information on that one.
Wait,
Or
really?
like
Wait.
dot uni?
I had Uni Blanc. I don't know.
Like-
I heard that wrong.
Oh, where did you? Who told you?
No, I just that.
No, I'm
just
oh,
wrong
because I was
information.
talking to you on the. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Now, when you've
no.
done this before,
Gouet.
how many do some people actually know these answers?
Once in a blue moon.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Camille knew the Voldstedt.
The
act.
So
Voldstedt.
mad. I thought I would. I
No, usually they don't.
Yours are
these
more
were
like
hard
wine.
questions.
Yeah, these
that-
were hard. I don't think. I
These
would-
were ones.
What do you normally ask people? Just like, what do you
We don't-
like?
we
What do
don't
you
have
drink
an-
wine out of? A glass?
We've asked what the difference between a Bordeaux
Yeah,
and
you
a
had a lot of
Burgundy
hard
glass
questions.
is.
Bordeaux. That's the other one I was trying to remember.
Yeah, Bordeaux.
That's another. It's a region where they grow Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot and Sauvignon Blanc.
And Burgundy.
In Burgundy. Yeah, sometimes we
Burgundy's
just like to
another
give wine
region.
questions for the wine listeners out there.
Where is the furthest you've gone for a wine tasting before? Where it's like it's far away from LA. Like, have you been in France? Have you been in
I've never done wine tasting
I've never
in
done
France.
wine. I've been in France. I
Oregon?
haven't done
Oregon? Okay.
Yeah.
I've done Australia.
Washington. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Washington
I win.
Woodinville's the...
You win. You definitely win.
Yeah, I would love to do that because I hear they're keeping all the good wine for themselves and like it doesn't export the really good
It was
stuff.
very good, and there were koalas all over the place. Yeah.
Could you just pick them up and hold
No,
them?
they were up in the trees, and apparently they're not.
No, there are
nice.
places you can go to hold them though.
Oh,
my
there's,
dad,
like, yeah,
my
the
dad had a
zoo.
picture of him.
Yeah, where they
holding
drug
a
'em.
koala.
Yeah, they're like they're on like
I know.
Xanax and want to be
Well,
touched.
so great. They probably that's
Ecstasy.
a
Join the
good
club.
life.
MDMA.
That's a good life. I endorse that because that's a happy life.
Yeah.
Should we ask our last question?
On that note, speaking of
Okay,
happy life,
yeah.
what's just bringing you some joy? What's bringing you some happiness?
What's bringing me joy? Ooh, a great book I'm reading called All the Wrong Tomorrows.
What?
It's a wonderful new novel. It just came out, and the author's name is escaping me right now. I'm not going to
I
look
went
it
to
up.
write that down
But
because I'm
look
always
up
looking.
the
All the New
title.
Tomorrows.
I think the author's first name is Elin, but I don't think that helps. It's a popular
sure.
book right now. It's called All the Wrong Tomorrows, and it's a fabulous love story time travel book set between what we imagine 2017 to look like in the 50s when we predicted the future
sweet.
and what it looks like now.
Cool. Oh, I love that.
Nice.
So that's bringing me joy.
Love
Always
it.
looking for good books.
Yay.
What's bringing you guys joy?
You're like the third person
Third
who's
person ever
like in
asked.
32 episodes
Yeah.
now who's asked that. So,
Who's bringing you joy? Anything?
well, this
Not a
definitely.
thing.
My therapist
No.
yesterday brought me a lot of joy,
That's
actually.
good. Oh yeah, and like therapy, Prozac, Wellbutrin, that all helps. all that helps.
Oh, that brings me joy.
Being able to, I about 2 weeks out, but I had a broken foot for a while. So just being able to like go back to dance class and walk around the reservoir is
Yeah.
really, I'm like, oh, I find my bliss just walking around that stupid reservoir over and over. Like,
I love it there.
Walk it
I
out.
know, it's so good. And I'm like so happy to do it again. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a great feeling when you're like, oh wait, this thing I took for granted, I can do
free.
again.
I can do
I mean, I'd
again.
broken my foot before, but it was just like it'd been a long time. I was just like, ugh, it's so frustrating.
It's
Yes.
horrifying. What about
Yeah.
you, Shaughn?
So movement brings me joy.
Movement,
Movement.
dance, and move.
Dance and movement.
The music.
My house is bringing me joy.
Your house
Why
is
your
great.
house?
Just because I'm just really happy
great
that it's
house.
there.
It's a home.
You know what I mean? It's really
Yeah.
nice. And
Do you decorate it for Christmas?
I'm putting little things out. I'm starting to put some things out.
Oh, that's
it just,
the
you know, like, I thought about like moving and, maybe
oh
selling
yeah,
it
you
or
were
something.
thinking about moving.
Yeah, and I just was like,
Really? Were you going to sell or rent?
I was gonna sell, and then when I was like, but it's
It's
like
a great
it's
house.
kind of like
Your
the
house
one
is
like
so
constant thing in my life, and it's
wouldn't
like kind
sell
of a
it.
touchstone, so it does bring me a lot of joy.
It's an absurd idea for you to sell that house. It's
No, that
fabulous.
house is so good. It's
Thank you.
the location, everything. It's so cute.
But then people are like, you could make a lot of money, and I'm like, yeah, but then that's money.
You
And
can
then-
make more money
Like
in
renting it,
5
you
years
mean?
when you sell it.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly. Hold
Yeah,
on
so
to
that's
it.
bringing me joy.
Yeah.
Knowing, this
Yay,
little home
joy.
thing. To joy, you guys.
Yay,
Jeffrey,
joy.
thank you so much for being here. I love you so much.
Thank you so much.
you.
Thanks so much for having me. Love you so
Yes.
much. And so lovely to meet
Cheers.
you. So I love you.
Love. So thanks, Zig. Love you, Zig, for being the best. Thank you, Jeffrey Self.
Yay, Jeffrey Self.
Congratulations. Yeah, on getting married. Yeah, congrats you and Augie. So happy for you guys. Love you.
We love you. Thanks. We love you guys for listening. We love all our wine people.
Yeah,
we
you guys.
Love Boardwalk Audio.
Do a review. Do a 5-star review, or do a 3-star
Do a
review.
write-up. We have more stars, but not everyone's writing a review.
yeah.
So if you could go on iTunes and write us a review, that would be so wicked cool.
And if you have any grapes you want to know about, any grape of the weeks you want to know, send it to us.
Yeah, we need inspiration.
Thank you, UCB Comedy. Thank you, Covell people,
Thank you,
Dustin and
Dr.
Matthew.
Dr. America Comedy for the song.
Yeah, we love you guys.
Love you all. Next week we got Jen Curcio.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yay.
All right, guys, have a good week. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Glass. I just drink wine. I don't fuck with IPAs. I just drink wine. I don't fuck with Minute Maids. I just drink wine. I don't fuck with coffee mates. I just drink wine. Give me red, white, or say, don't touch me, motherfucker. I'm a sommelier.
This has been a Boardwalk Audio podcast. For more information and shows, visit boardwalkaudio.com. Don't forget to rate and subscribe now.